Test work products. Okay, so yeah, work products. Depending on the organization you are working on and the tool, this depends on the tool that you use to help and support you on this. This can be called work items. So in Azure DevOps, we call work items or user stories. That could be a feature as well. It depends on who managing that board. Be a scrum master, project manager, or business analyst or developer. This is where, the high level explanation of each one of these items. There will be even more explained in details as I move along. But it's a good basis for you to follow if you don't know where to start. If you are a junior tester, if you're getting into tester, these can help you structure your plan. Yeah, so the test planning work products, the monitoring control products, test analysis, test design, implementation, execution, completion. It is more or less the same thing that we just talked about in the process, but in a different wording, which is good for you to help you remember that. So the test planning work products, while you are producing the test plan, you got to ask these questions. What am I testing? Who are testing? Where am I testing? When? How? Why? All these questions, if you answer these questions, can help you produce the test plan along with the planning work products, which is the work items or user stories. It can help you with the traceability of your testing as well. The test monitoring and control work products. So I normally create like dashboards in Azure DevOps. Again, in Jira, there must be an equivalent one in Jira as well, where I can kind of, know where I am, what I'm doing, and what I'm capturing. These can be helpful for producing the completion of the test. You can, in some places we call the test exit report or the TER, where you can produce in a given milestone where a piece of work goes live. This is an example. So I captured the bugs, the user stories I'm working against to create the test cases. The test cases I'll show in another slide, but this is more for the user stories. Yeah, this is how I monitor it. And if someone asks me, oh, Roger, can you give me an update? And this is how I kind of talk them through. Say, oh, look, I'm doing this. This is the X amount of days that we have to achieve. And I've done this, and I've done that. And this is what the work I've got assigned to myself to do, and so on. And the status as well, which is quite good. I like that. Test analysis. Once you get the requirements, you start to work on the analysis. And within the analysis, you produce the project attributes for that. And the work products can be things that you have to consider is the number of verification points, number of transactions, interface, baseline test data, testing type, application on the test. All these things you have to consider when you produce that to help you with the traceability of the work. Test design work products. So the output of the test design work is test cases and a set of tests called the suite, and divided by test phases and the test types to apply the test conditions defined in the test analysis work. Created a test plan in your test management tool, like I showed Azure DevOps, that you have at your disposal. If you don't have a tool, then use a spreadsheet. I have templates as well on my website. So you start with a high-level scenario and then expand as you move into the environment. As a test types of tests. Most of these can be reused, so you incremental as you move along to phases with your test cases. So it's important to have the user story linked to the requirements. It has acceptance criteria for you to verify against and rely on. So in static, you would have informal reviews, walkthroughs, technical review, inspections. You have static analysis tools to check data flow, control flow. In dynamic testing, you have a bit more like structure-based statement, decision, conditions, multiple conditions, or you have experience-based, which is error guessing and exploratory testing. Specification-based, equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, decision tables, state transition, use case testing. And then moving on to test implementation work products. This is how the tests are going to be carried out and the sequence of events or defined tests. The test suite is ready and good to go. In the case of test on automation, the test execution schedule is ready. So you may redefine the test cases from the original created in the analysis phase. So you could start to create the test there, but in this phase you kind of said, oh no, I need to redefine these. That's fine. And then within the environment life cycle, you have the development, testing stage, and production. So development used by developers. There's no client data. In the testing used by QA engineers and testers. There's still no client data. In staging used by QA engineers, testers, and it could be used by UAT as well, the user acceptance testing team. And it has limited production data or masked data, like where you copy data from production, but you mask it or scramble the data. And in production, used by the clients. This is when it goes live production, and it has full production data, so very limited access for testers and developers in there. Test execution work product. So this is part when you have the and I'll show an example in the next slide. This is part when you have the document the status of individual or overall test cases that you worked with. So where you have your test plan and your test cases, and where you show where it has run, passed, failed, or blocked, and all the bugs as well has been captured. Let me show you this. But this is good to link back to the user stories, and so you have traceability of why am I testing this block of tests, where does that links to. It has to link back to the user story. Again, this is another screenshot from Azure DevOps, the test plan, which is an extension in there that we can create the test plan, the test suites, and the test cases, and all can be linked back to the user story where you're testing to help with the traceability of the test and the coverage. And this is an example of an application being testing for a web form for a system, for a CRM system. There are different tools out there. Jira, Zeph, Test Complete, and many others. But you can use a spreadsheet as well. There are plenty of templates out there. I've got templates in the website as well if you'd like to download. This is how you kind of know where you are when you're testing in terms of the outcome. Am I testing? Is it running? Has it passed, failed, and so on. Test completion. So once everything is complete, all the tests are complete, the completion criteria has met, then you produce a summary report. Some places called test exit report, or abbreviated by TR. I like to use the wiki in Azure DevOps, where I can continuously keep changing it until it's all done and complete. So I don't wait until everything's done and then start working on the document. I work on the document as I go along, and in the end I just export as a PDF and seek for sign off, and that will collate to support for the CAB approval, where the management gets together, review, and says, oh yeah, no, that's good, I think you guys covered everything that you meant to cover, and we are happy and confident with what we're showing, and therefore we're gonna approve to go live. And this is an example of that document. Because it's a big document, I just put a screenshot here. I hope it's okay with you guys, but it's just to give an overview of what the document could look like. So this is the first page, so I start from this side. So so basically captured version control, the report of who are the manager, who the tester, what's in scope, functional, non-functional, the test phases, the deviation from the plan, the execution, manual test automation, bugs, recommendations, and the distribution list, the people who have to sign it off, all the management team. Yeah, this is where I captured. You see, that's why I like the wiki from Azure DevOps, because it captures the state. It captures, and it contains links as well. So because this is a query run from the system, so it contains the links that if people even from the PDF as well, if they wanted to click on these links, it takes them back to the expanded explanation about a particular area, like the user story or the bug or anything else. Yeah, this is a screenshot from the progress report. I haven't found yet a way to put it as an iframe yet, but I'm gonna find out how to do that, which is quite good if you can do that dynamically. Anyway, so this is it.